I Remember You really paints Simon's desperation, and it again highlights his love for Marceline. That even as he was losing himself, he was still so worried about the little girl. The tug of war between the absolute need to wear the crown in order to protect Marceline, but wanting to remove the crown in order to save himself so that he may take care of her, is so emotional. And behind all that, we have the crown advising Simon, telling him about the secrets of the frost, of the crown's abilities, promising that the crown can protect him. He's fighting all of these different factors. Simon's story is sacrifice, but it's not just a matter of choice. It's also the crown's clutches pulling him back. In Everything Stays, Simon makes that decision to leave her to ensure that he doesn't hurt her anymore. The letters that he wrote to her, on newspaper clippings, on receipts, on menus. In the moments that Simon had true clarity, he was thinking about Marceline. And of course, on the one picture that Simon took of Marceline, he writes those first heart-wrenching lines to I Remember You. A letter, apologizing to her. That despite slipping away, Simon wants to be absolutely sure that the girl who's felt unloved by her biological father, abandoned by her mother, this girl who does not know love, Simon does everything in his power to make sure that she knows that someone in that world loved her. Simon's memories are fleeting and he's suffering. He's desperately trying to keep it together, but his will is strong. Other characters got corrupted by the crown instantly, but Simon fights off the crown's ability for so long, until he couldn't anymore. When he met the little demon girl, he was able to wipe her tears. He was able to protect her. And in their final moment together, he tries to wipe her tears, but he can't. He hurts her instead. And we saw his reaction to that. The only thing he wants to do is to take care of her, but he physically cannot. And even as the crown is burying his mind, he's still able to send Hudson back to see his daughter. Simon understands the person he's becoming, but he can't control it, so leaving her is better than hurting her. When did Marceline realize that Simon wasn't coming back? What did that sadness feel like? How hard was it for her to recount these stories of her and Simon to Finn and Jake, knowing that this man in these stories, this great man, the one whom she grieves for every single time she sees him, is never coming back? Ice King, with Simon completely trapped in the crown, is subconsciously drawn towards Marceline. When she sings in I Remember You, leaning on the fridge, she states that every time she moves in Ooh, eventually Ice King finds her and starts hanging around her, even though he doesn't remember her. But seeing this version of her old friend gets her down, understandably. And yet, Marceline reveals that she does have an unexplained subconscious feeling of joy when she sees him. And that joy turns into desperation in this episode, when she hugs her old friend, and later tries to get him to remember their time together. Marceline looks into his eyes, searching for a sliver of Simon, begging him to remember, searching for the man who saved her, in the same way she begged him to take off that crown. But he never will. And afterwards, she grabs her guitar, she sings the lyrics to his song, eyes closed, in tears, singing out a song that means so much to her. And it almost looked like this was the moment that she had finally accepted Ice King, that she accepted that Simon wasn't coming back. But she also accepted that though he wasn't coming back, she was grateful for it all. And by Simon and Marcy, she accepted that she was going to protect and take care of Ice King, for the man that he once was, and for this new version of him. Ice King constantly mentions that he knows something's wrong with him, and he cries out for help. He's so lonely. Adam Muto noted that the original title for this episode was titled Help, and that's what Marceline aims to be going forward. Help.